I had to fucking shit my brains out, and then my girlfriend is just being she got really drunk last night because the Avs won, and she basically had a bunch of problems, and I was trying to be like problem solver. But like she called me 5 minutes before, and then she's getting mad that I have to leave the record. I'd be like, I have prior obligations. like like I pushed it back 10 minutes, but like then she called me again, and she was getting mad. She's like, you didn't tell me what time. And obviously I can't tell her, I do this every day at the same time for like the past 3 weeks. Like but I can't say that because she'll get upset, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What did I? Oh, I woke
Like
up with some great news today.
with a mustache.
I woke up first off with a mustache. I'm wearing my Tampa Bay Rays hat just to show my respect and my regards to the city of Tampa Bay and for everything they offered us as far as hockey goes for the last 3 years. Unfortunately, not able to get the job done, but they'll come back swinging next year. Um, oh yeah, quick flex. Oh, I officially have a channel on in every sport. My Kai Soto vid got 35K, and it reminded me, ooh, I just reapplied for monetization for the first time in 2 or 3 months. Got it.
Really?
We're monetized. Yeah, we're back, baby.
We're back.
We're
Woo.
back. So far, starting the week off with a lot of W's here. Just catching strays, honestly. I'm catching strays.
That's pretty funny.
And we got some Wimbledon on. Let's go. What more do you need?
Is Wimbledon actually on?
Yeah.
I actually I've never been a huge tennis guy. Brittany Griner set for a preliminary hearing today in Russia. Monday morning, her lawyer, Alexander Boykov. Damn, she has a Russian lawyer. Well, that makes sense because they are in Russia. They can't just send an American lawyer. You can't send an American lawyer like, oh, please argue in Russia, in a country that you didn't study. But so yeah. Either way, also Spurs and Hawks continue to discuss regarding a trade centered around DeJounte Murray and John Collins. But again, this is via Jake Fisher, and this picture was tweeted by Clutch Points. So back-to-back terrible sources.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I personally don't get the idea of, from both sides, why would you give, like, I love John Collins, but I'd rather have DeJounte Murray. Like, he's just more now. But then how does DeJounte Murray and Trae Young fit together? Who's going off ball?
I don't know.
Because like you're telling me, because obviously in theory Trae Young is who you want to play off ball because of his shooting ability. But you're telling me you want the 5'11" or it's 6'1", but let's be honest, they probably gave him 2 inches. He's probably 6 foot flat, Trae Young. Like, you really think Trae Young is going to be able to be a shooting guard next with DeJounte Murray? Like he'll hit the 3-point shots, but he'll really, like, I think you're taking away what makes Trae Young special if you don't put the ball in his hand.
Yeah, dude, I mean, personally, the trade doesn't make sense for either team to me.
Exactly.
So like, I don't really know what's going on, to be honest with you. I don't, like, it just doesn't. If I'm the Spurs, why do I want to get rid of DeJounte for John Collins?
I think they're only saying they're willing to get rid of him if they get like a Godfather offer. Tell me, if you got John Collins and 3 first-round picks, I'm kind of doing that. Even if I love DeJounte, 3 first-round picks, especially if they have like shitty protections, and John Collins, like, I mean,
yeah, it's nice to have all those. 3 first-round picks, I would do that because it's like the Rockets, they got like every first to like 2028 or something.
well,
like everyone.
They announced that they would only trade DeJounte Murray for a Drew Holiday package, which was 3 first-round picks and 2 players.
Which was wild to begin with.
I thought that, like, in retrospect, that's an equal deal. Drew Holiday, like, He still is. I think Drew Holiday's behind DeJounte Murray now in defense, but Drew Holiday was the most underrated, still is arguably the most underrated point guard in the league, two-way threat.
Yeah, but 3 firsts and 2 players.
I
It's
mean,
a hefty bundle.
you could also do pick swaps. No one's telling you you can protect the picks. Those tell you to,
Pick swaps. I think
You don't have to
Houston's
be-
got 2 of them.
you don't have to be fucking Brooklyn and just be like, oh, here's 5 years of unprotected picks.
Here's a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
here's everything. It's like a nice assorted bundle of fruits.
So did you see the what's going on with Jaylen Brown?
No.
So Jaylen Brown, I actually like this tweet. This guy tweeted on Twitter, Jaylen Brown is so disrespected by the Celtics. And then I see the same guy tweet later that day. I can't believe he liked that tweet. And I press on Jaylen Brown's Twitter, go to his likes. Still to this moment, it's his latest why Jaylen Brown is so disrespected by the Celtics. It's literally so true because literally behind Al Horford, Jaylen Brown was the second best player in the finals and in the Miami series. And you're telling me that now everyone's trying to put him in trade packages.
Hold on. Is your hierarchy of Celtic ranked players in this finals Al Horford?
Are you kidding
and
me?
Jaylen Brown?
Yeah, and then it goes Actually, no. Al Horford, Robert Williams, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum,
Blasphemous.
Marcus Smart. Who are you putting in front?
What?
Dude,
blasphemous.
I'm telling you, Jason Tatum was one of the worst Celtics players for a majority of if you combine the Heat and Warriors series. Robert Williams wasn't that great in the Heat series, but Robert Williams had his moments against the Warriors. Al Horford had his moments against the Warriors. We can agree Marcus Smart, Derek White, and Tatum were at the bottom of the road.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I guess it's fair.
Where was Defensive Player of the Year Marcus Smart?
Nowhere. He was absolutely nowhere. He was nowhere to be seen. And I loved every second of it.
I also have you seen that tweet that Marcus Smart got the first Defensive Player of the Year for just complaining? It's phrased definitely I can't repeat how it's phrased just because it uses words I can't use, but it was basically here's your Defensive Player award because don't you agree Marcus Smart for the last 3 months of this series? I don't know, a guard not named Gary Payton who won Defensive Player of the Year. You don't remember him?
Marcus Smart. He's I even have a word to describe him.
I like Marcus Smart.
I like Marcus Smart too. If he was on my team, I would love Marcus Smart. But when he's not on my favorite team and I'm rooting against him in the finals, he's got that goofy green hair and he's doing nothing. Running around doing nothing.
He was a gremlin.
It's kind of funny. So, but I guess you're right. Jaylen Brown is one of the league's up-and-coming stars. I thought he was going to choke all finals after the first quarter of game 1 where he was he could not do more than 3 dribbles. He's a dog. He's a good defender.
But I feel didn't we talk about this last week? Part of the reason why, or maybe this was with my friend who's a Celtics fan, part of the reason why Jaylen Brown was so terrible, or not terrible, people said he was bad, was he had moments where Jason Tatum was basically couldn't make a shot, and all Jason Tatum's solution for not being able to shoot was just to try to shoot out of it. And the golf swing hurting your shoulder.
No, I'm Tatum. I got that.
Oh yeah.
That's nowhere. Oh,
dude, Tatum just instead of being a normal person, being all right, my shot's not falling, let's do something else. He's just I'm just shooting through this. And then Brown, I talked about this in a video I made. Let's say Brown's usage rate was normally 30 shots a game, which obviously is not real. Let's say he normally takes 30 of the possessions. during the finals and even the Heat series, he was being used like double. If his quote unquote hypothetical number was 30, he was being used 60 times. And he's not that guy, you know what I mean? But every time he would just catch and shoot threes, or he would take the ball in transition and dunk it was perfectly fine. The problem was when they tried to get Jaylen Brown to play the Jason Tatum role as a half court creator. Can he create occasionally in the half court? 100%. The problem became with Jaylen Brown when they took him out of his element, which is a catch and shoot threes, slashing to the basket either through backdoor cuts or off ball screen movement, or in transition where he just went full on coast to coast. They were literally at times just telling Jaylen Brown, "Oh, Jason Tatum can't do shit right now, can't create for fuck. Let's have you try to do that," and then he would just dribble right into the defense because that isn't his thing, you know.
Yeah, their whole offense was a mess. They even when Tatum was hitting, they were too ISO heavy to begin with.
That's a great way to put it.
Like it's just literally hero ball. That's all it is. And I think I talked about this. I can't remember when I talked about this, but it reminded me so much. This series just reminded me of almost like the Houston series, where you just try and get like you almost just let them have their fun for 3 quarters, and then fourth quarter comes around, they're tired, and you just clamp. You just turn on the clamps. Tatum had nothing all series. Jaylen Brown. My issue with this is, yeah, I mean, first off, they should have used Marcus Smart. Should have been involved. I mean, I guess Robert Williams injured. Al Horford should have been used more. Derek White was doggy down, desperate all series as well. I don't know if I'm the Celtics. Like, I guess I'm running it back, but I don't think they win a finals running it back with the same roster. I don't. What's up, 81? I just don't believe. I don't believe in like their starting five. I just don't.
I think it's interesting due to the fact that this team are was this just a really good run, or can they build upon it? Like, will this be a 30 for 30 in 10 years where people go like if one of them, because it also feels like one's gonna leave, and if that's the case, are people gonna look back at this and be like, what if they stayed, or what if like they had done something else? Because I feel like Robert Williams is cool, Al Horford is cool, but they didn't do anything to upgrade from Al Horford. Like, is Al Horford like, and Al Horford was awesome, but he old, like he old as fuck. Okay, and we can all agree that Al Horford in the finals in moments he was slower than old people fucking. Okay, and he wasn't really like, again. Have you seen that comedy sketch where it's just like they had Al Horford on Steph Curry? Okay, I'm not an NBA coach, but personally, I would have made the adjustment and been like, who the fuck is telling Al to guard Steph Curry? Like Marcus Smart, Defensive Player of the Year. But we're also like 2 weeks away, and from this NBA Finals, it's just right now they have not done anything to improve the team, and I agree with you. I don't know what do you feel?
I don't believe in Marcus Smart as a championship caliber point guard. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Isn't he? He's not even a point guard. He's a shooting guard.
Yeah.
Who's forced to play point guard.
Playoff point Tatum.
Playoff point Tatum. I remember when that game happened, everyone was like, there was two reactions. They were like, there was the one that Tatum was horrible, but then there was the other take that I even got on the train. They were like, Tatum is so good that his shot wasn't falling. He still found a way to make an impact. It was just really like everyone was just hitting their shots. It wasn't really Tatum. Tatum wasn't being a creator. He just, the passes he ended up passing ended up being catch and shoots most of the time.
That was they went completely off. It went haywire game one. Oh, I love being right when picking basketball so much. Just love it. It's just so cool.
Now, going into free agency, who do you expect to make the loudest noise. DeAndre Ayton, Jalen Brunson, and who would we say is the third? Miles Bridges.
Yeah, I think Miles Bridges will be in Detroit pretty soon.
I thought it was going to be Ayton.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be interested. I wouldn't be interested in Ayton anymore. But yeah, man, it's tough because I like Jalen Duren a lot.
Oh, dude,
But
I
I
keep
actually
forgetting about Duren.
like. I feel like, and I think this is what Vicini was saying, where it's like it's going to be so reliant on fit. I feel like his future and immediate success.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think him and Beef Stew would work out at all.
I thought Beef Stew was going to come off, start
I'll
in
come off the
Duren.
bench.
Like one of them's going to come off the bench.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
Then they scoop up Bagley or something.
yeah, they intend to re-sign Bagley, and Bagley's a power forward.
Yeah. So you got that. I would say Ayton. Shit, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if Ayton lands somewhere no one gives a shit about, like San Antonio.
So supposedly the Spurs are more interested in Miles Bridges, I believe, because they already have Diogo Pirtle.
That's dope.
But the Hawks are interested in DeAndre Ayton, but it's all reliant on him being willing not to take the max. They don't want to offer him the max contract. And the only team that I've heard rumors of being willing to pay DeAndre Ayton the max is the Detroit Pistons. But this was, of course, before draft.
Yeah, I think they're not interested in him anymore. I think that's the rumor now. I think they got their eyes. Bro, did you see that yesterday Miles Bridges' friend posted a picture with the caption saying, "It's in my likes somewhere, shoot. If Charlotte don't give us the bag, we finna go to Detroit or something like that." Oh, I got it right here. I put
Go.
I put the shrooms in my food, man. It got me tripping. If Charlotte don't drop the bag, we going to the Pistons. And it's a picture of him and Miles Bridges.
Okay, so it was a rap, but like
yeah.
Also, this past year, again, maybe it's me overlooking it, but like as a guy who's done all the things that Miles Bridges does, all the good extracurricular activities. Why does it feel like Miles Bridges has, like, this past year, I've just seen Miles Bridges' entourage, like, maybe it's just because he's bursted onto the scene, but I just don't want, like, I don't know. It's just we're seeing a lot of Miles Bridges' real life, like, off the court life. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It hasn't impeded his ability, but it just seems like hangs with the boys in the off season a lot. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Even if like they could be a bad influence. And you know me, like I have no problem with it. You want everyone to be safe. We talked about the Ja Morant thing last week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Miles Bridges' principles and values are, but I mean,
and you can have fun and still have good principles and values. I just don't want him being corrupted, like where like his boys are saying if they ain't gonna give us the bag, like.
Yeah, I'm just like I don't know the relationship. I don't know how he stands on it, because he could view them just straight up as his brothers, and if he eats, everybody eats. Behind the scenes, they could be coming back from practicing all day and working out all day and then hitting the club. I don't know what Miles Bridges off the court is like, but I see exactly what you're saying. Like you were saying, we talked about this with Ja Morant last week. So I definitely see where you're getting at.
And it's all like nothing. They haven't done anything of concern. It's just like you just keep an eye on it. And like obviously some old balls aren't gonna like that, but it comes down to AI. It was technically broke. I mean, he's not broke because at like what is it, 55? He gets 50 million from that Reebok deal. But AI, like, there's been a lot of famous basketball players that we can argue that their downfall could be attributed to their entourage.
Yeah.
because their entourage ends up thinking they're just as important as the ball player.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know if that's the situation. You said it very well. Like, again, they could be his day ones. You know, we've seen LeBron James, Rich Paul. Like, again, it's all. But LeBron James never posted him sipping some drink and smoking a joint.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Miles
so
Bridges will never be at LeBron's level.
that's right.
If that was ever in question to begin with, you know what? Can we start talking about Benedict Mathurin?
Oh yeah, go for it on the Indiana Pacers.
Well, it was Benedict, right, who thinks he's hot shit and doesn't respect his idols and needs
What'd
to
he
learn a
say?
lesson or two.
What'd he say?
He said something about how, as far as I'm concerned, I'm the best player on the court. I like that. But then he said LeBron's going to have to show me that he's the best guy on the court. LeBron doesn't give a shit about you, little boy. He doesn't give a shit. This man, if he wanted to, in game one against you, if he was Michael Jordan, he'd drop 55 on your head. But LeBron isn't built like that. LeBron doesn't really, I doubt he even knows Benedict said that about him. And but you know what I'm saying? I saw some stuff that LeBron, like, oh, that's why MJ is the best. Because if he had said that to MJ, first off, nobody would say that to MJ, because if they did, MJ next game they play each other, he is dropping 50 points in that game, and he's dropping 35 of them in the first half. So that's it. I like Benedict though. I like the player confidence. I just think when we're talking about one of the greats, I'm not gonna. If I'm a professional golfer, I'm not gonna like start going for Tiger Woods' neck publicly. But I guess this new day and age, you give people a screen, you give these kids a screen to hide behind, and everyone becomes anything they want, say anything they want. I hope LeBron puts him in his place. And I was already saying Benedict was a bust, so as far as I'm concerned, target on his back. Sorry, Benny.
So, I mean, first off, I'm a big proponent that the problem there's different types of confidence. I think the good confidence that we've seen, in my opinion, is the confidence we see from Anthony Edwards. Okay, and I think what's interesting is Anthony Edwards. He comes off confidence, but it's not over cocky. What's up, Aaron Barton? Like, I don't know if you agree with me. Like, Aaron Gordon, he shows that he has that dog mentality, but you know how some people just come off as
like
over
ignorant.
The top?
Yeah.
Ignorant. Yeah, ignorant. What a good way. He's not ignorant. It's almost like he's cocky, but in like a modest way. I think that's the best way to go about it, where like you're that guy.
Yeah.
But like
I would view Ja as more ignorant with it.
Yeah. Like
or arrogant. I think arrogant's probably a better word.
Yeah, arrogant's a better word, because like Anthony Edwards is the type of guy to drop like 40 points, and then at the press conference he's ordering McDonald's.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like he's like, hold up one second, I'm ordering my McDonald's. Like, that's the type of guy. Like, he's just dropped 40 points, and he's so confident in himself. He's just mobile ordering McDonald's to the stadium. Like that guy's a fucking dog. You know, like that's the right type of confidence. That like, you know, he. Like, literally, because I just find that I don't know if Trey being small is what rubs people the wrong way. It's the way Trey makes up for his size. Like, he didn't do it as much this season, but he did the Chris Paul jump backwards thing. Like, the foul baiting. That's what's annoying about Trae Young, because he knows he's 170 pounds, 180 pounds soaking wet. Like, and that, like, if anyone touches him, he'll literally like go like flappy, like flailing like a flappy inflatable tubesman, like just flailing. So like, it doesn't take much to knock him off his feet. So I think that's the annoying part, and why people don't like him, is because he takes advantage that, because, you know, like, everyone complains that when people like Joel Embiid or Nikola Jokic, they don't get calls, and then the refs go, well, you're not really affected by it. They're like, well, the same shit happens to Trae Young, and he gets like 5 whistles, and Joel Embiid's like literally getting hack a shack, and he's like not even getting called. Those are really like Peter Griffin laugh right there. That's like something I would hear in Family Guy.
Trick or trade, King of New York, Ice Tray. Hey. Ooh.
What just happened?
Trick or trade. Yeah. Oh, Harden.
I've never
so
liked James Harden. Can I say that? I've never liked James Harden ever as a player. Like, if I have to say there's one, like, first off, if I met James Harden, would I fanboy? Yes, it's an NBA player. But I've never been a fan of James Harden's, like, play style. Like, I think he's a great player. I just don't think he plays winning basketball.
Well, he doesn't. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. James Harden and his style of basketball will never win a championship. We've been saying this for year after year after year after year. And I saw yesterday that Big Daddy Perk said that LeBron James and Dwayne Wade concocted in a lab a virus right into James Harden's brain, and James went solo team.
Are you reading
D'Antonio licks his chops. He goes, you know what, James? Come to Houston. We'll pay you the big bucks. We got the strip clubs, and we'll play Euro ball. And James Harden said, hot diggity dog, sign me up. Woo!
Was that a reenactment, or was this just off? Or was this?
That was a
just
reenactment
improv?
of what? It was a reenactment of how James Harden went to Houston.
Also, he's a very big fan of those adult ballerinas.
Yeah.
My favorite video though is the Kawhi Leonard, his massive hand on one of the stripper's cheeks. Have you seen that video?
I can't think of it right now, but I know what you're talking about.
Kawhi Leonard was like hands deep in a stripper's cheeks, and his hands are so large that his hands like literally encapsulating the stripper's ass. Like, it is the greatest video. You're just like, Kawhi's getting it. Kawhi is getting it.
These are blurry.
I've been to one strip club 7 miles outside of the town I live in Kansas. It's called the Outhouse. It's bring your own beer.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah, we usually bring a cooler of jungle juice.
Wow. There you go.
It's the only strip club in like a 15-mile radius that is nude. All the other strip clubs, they wear like
clothes.
Yeah, it's
Lame.
semi-nude. This is the only full one. And the Outhouse, they have one stripper who has a C-section scar. So if that's what your thing is, it's like...
Oh, no.
Yeah, also, you can pay $5 for the strippers to whip you with your own belt.
Oh, I think I do that for a video on my phone.
Well, we usually do a sacrifice when we go. We could get someone tied up to a chair and pay the strippers the like.
Yeah, no one's looking. No one's itching to get whipped.
Yeah, no. We pay them $50 and we tip them, and what we do is we all give them our belts, and like 3 strippers beat the shit out of our sacrifice.
Yeah, just one
for like 15.
One poor pledge.
No. It's a volunteer.
That's right. That's right.
It's all volunteer. It's all volunteer, and I never said this for my fraternity. This is all volunteer. No one is forced. Okay, this is all optional and all on their own will. Okay.
Oh man.
No. It's July. We might hear some rumblings July 29th. Like, we've already heard the tampering of PJ Tucker signing a 3-year deal for $30 million with the Philadelphia 76ers, unless the Miami Heat can pull smoke out their ass. But July 30th, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. This
dude just posted a freaking video.
Yeah, I did.
This dude just posted a goddamn video. I love it.
I'm actually about to post the second one.
Let's
But
go.
but that being said, June 30th is when shit's gonna hit the fan, and so the fir- the 30th is when you're gonna hear everything. The legal tampering period starts, I think the 30th, right, or the first.
Dude, I don't know. All I know is that last year there seemed to be a ton of tampering. So
It's not tampering if someone reports it.
yes. Sam Amick, Joe, there are sources very close to the situation who strongly believe Irving is trying to make his way to the Lakers here, and everything else is just necessary noise. The sense I get is that James is very open to the idea, but the dynamics are somewhat delicate too. And if we can play that clip back to what episode was it last week? Wednesday, Thursday episode. If we can get that clip going, Steve, that'd be great. Where I call it happening. And yeah, I can't wait for Kyrie to join LeBron. I don't know what do you think about Kendrick Perkins?
if
Do you think that's real that Kendrick Perkins said that LeBron James and Dwayne Wade at the 2012 Olympics tried to put a virus in James Harden's mind that he's so good and he should go form his own team because they wanted to break up the OKC to get more rings?
No, I don't know how this just went from what we were originally talking to and circled
Oh,
back
sorry.
to the
Yeah, sorry.
Kendrick Perkins thing, but it was beautiful. No, I don't think that. I just think James Harden just thought he was the guy and wanted to be the guy. But will Kyrie Irving be leaving the Nets and will Kevin Durant be next? I personally
Oh,
think
yes.
they should blow it up and build around our man Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
And look, you put this in my head last week when you said you always knew the Nets were gonna blow up, and I personally think that at this point, then it's not working. James Harden left, Kyrie's now leaving, Kevin Durant's leaving. Let's just jerk off Ben Simmons and let's
Yes.
just tell him, okay, let's get him. Also, I think KD will follow through, Aaron, due to the fact that
100%.
if the Washington Wizards, his hometown team, his favorite team in the world, offer everybody not named Bradley Beal and Kristaps Porzingis, he'll want to go there. I know you hate that Kevin Durant will go to the Wizards, but it's happening because the only way he could save his legacy is either by returning to the Oklahoma City Thunder or playing for the Wizards.
Well, he's not going to go to Oklahoma City Thunder for a reunion because Russ is. And
You
they're
really
not going to,
think?
yeah, and they're not going to do that again. Kevin Durant, if he stays, he's an idiot, first off. I mean, like, just literally what he's doing. Unless he's vibing with Brooklyn. I like Ben Simmons a lot. He does worry me now. I think we were talking about this last week, but it worries me about apparently he's just a loser. I didn't know that was, and apparently he's
Really?
always been a loser. So
What makes you
like
say this?
apparently like the LSU fans hate Ben Simmons because they say he quit on the team, and Philly fans hate Ben Simmons because they say he quit on the team. Every team that Ben Simmons has left says he quit on the team. I am hopeful Ben Simmons at the age of 25 years old, the 3 straight All-Star appearances. But yeah, like you're saying, Aaron, I don't know what's going on anymore at this point, but I think I would love to build a team around Ben Simmons.
That's what I'm
If this
saying.
shit didn't happen this year, I would have freaking loved to build around Ben Simmons. Now I'm a little more hesitant,
I think
but I'd still do it.
at this point, let's just let's say if the Lakers send Russell Westbrook to the Nets for a Kyrie deal, I would do a 3-team trade and I would trade Russell Westbrook to another. I would be a 4-team trade, yeah, because I wouldn't take Russell Westbrook on the Nets.
Uh, I don't think KD. Sorry to to rain on your parade day, but at the young age of 33 years old, I have a hard time imagining Kevin Durant's like, yeah, let me go play with the guy who's never accomplished anything noticeable in his entire career, Bradley Beal. And yeah, let me do that.
He's made it to the Eastern Conference Final.
Hmm. I didn't know that was an allocate, but we'll give it to you. I'm a nice guy. We'll give it to you.
How many Eastern Championships have you been to? How many?
You son of a bitch. Actually, I've been to 2. One more than you.
So suck on that, bitch.
I just don't think he'll go to Washington because I think he's old, and I think he just genuinely wants to go to like Phoenix with Chris Paul and Booker. And
I actually have seen a lot of that. Why is Phoenix such? Does he have like a connection?
I just think Chris Paul, Booker, Phoenix, Arizona's nice state. It's warm. Change of scenery. I like Beal's definitely not bad, and Beal needs to be paired up with a freaking beast. And I mean, we saw with Russ and Beal, like they
that was insane.
Yeah, they figured it out.
That was
out, so.
Also, I have said this. Any team that has Russell Westbrook, please hire Scott Brooks. He's the lead assistant for. This is also why I want Russell Westbrook to go to the Portland Trailblazers. He's the lead assistant coach for the Portland Trailblazers. Please, somebody go get Scott Brooks if you get Russell Westbrook on your team, and tell Scott Brooks, just design the offense like you did with the Wizards. Just bring in Robin Lopez, Alex Lynn, and Daniel Gafford and run 80 pick and rolls a game where you just literally tell the other team, we're running a pick and roll. Please try to stop it.
Oh, man. I'd actually love to see Russ just somewhere. I'd actually just love to see Russ outside of – I'd actually wouldn't mind seeing him in LA next year, but I'd love to see Russ in Portland or even back in Washington. Like, I'd be all about that. I think Russ does not have a low basketball IQ. I think, if anything, he's got one of the highest at his position. I think what he lacks is I don't know if it's patience and control. Plays with just this certain tenacity and this certain effort that shoots him in the foot when it matters the most, because he can't level things out. I feel like there's not much balance with his game.
I think he's just too he is a guy who at this point in his career needs a coach who can design the scheme for him.
Yeah, I feel like this man just gets so much disrespect, and it just genuinely pisses me off. Like, this man did the unthinkable. Now a 31. Imagine averaging 31.6, 10.7, and 10.4 with a steal and a half per game, and still shooting almost 35% from downtown. One of the best seasons you can ever see. Like, I just feel like he gets so. But that was 27, 28-year-old Russ, and we're talking about, like Aaron was saying, 34-year-old Russ now, pretty much 34 years old. So I kind of agree with you. Got to design it.
Yeah, because he can't hit the right side of a fucking barn. But, like, I don't know. And it's not like he's gone Helen Keller, where he's fucking blind and can't hear. Like, he's still a functioning human in society. So,
yeah.
That was such a stupid analogy, but...
Yeah, I didn't get it. But on your Wizards, 22, 11, 11. Right there.
That's what I'm saying. And if you look at his stats post All-Star break, it's like even more ridiculous.
Really?
Oh my God, yeah. He just went like God mode. And it was unreal. He literally carried that team into the first round of the playoffs. But for me, the problem is Westbrook. No, everybody's just trying to get younger. We're in a day and age that people don't really care about has-beens. And I'm sorry to call Russell Westbrook a has-been. We saw what happened with the Lakers. And that's what teams are thinking. They're like, we rather have guys who are dogs, who are hungry, not guys who like you want one or two ring chasers on your team because those are good locker room and good depth guys, or good rotational pieces. But you can't just build a team off of like old players anymore. You won't. I
Yeah.
think the idea of an old team, that's gone. Like, I don't think teams want to win with the old guys anymore.
I mean, especially with Lowry's performance this playoffs,
Good.
Chris Paul, um, these guys are too old. I think you got to find the happy medium.
Mm-hmm.
I
Like the
also,
Warriors.
yeah, the Warriors are actually to me I think they're an exception to the rule. I don't know
Well,
how Steve Kerr does what he does sometimes, or just the Warriors in general, as far as managing their young players. Jordan Poole was in the G League last year. I mean, it's crazy. 1 year to 1 year, now he's wanting a max contract. Like, I
yeah, that
mean,
is wild.
I know it's not all on the Warriors, and Jordan Poole's a good basketball player to begin with, first round pick, but
Jordan Poole was like a bust a year and a half ago, almost. Not a
yeah,
bust,
it
but
gets to a
like,
certain point where it's like, what the hell is going on in Golden State where they're able to do all this? Kyle for Russell trade, that's really interesting. I think that's a really interesting propose right there.
I don't
Man,
know.
Kyle Lowry would have been
I'd rather
so
have.
money for the Lakers.
I would have had right now. I like the idea of John Wall joining Kyle Lowry in Miami doing that, so they can, instead of playing Kyle Lowry 35 minutes, they can do John Wall 20 minutes and then 28 minutes Kyle Lowry, or
You're
vice
only giving
versa.
John Wall 20 minutes.
Unless he proves himself. The guy has, look. I love John Wall.
20 and 7 last year.
A year, 2 years ago. But like, look, I agree. So maybe 28 minutes John Wall, then Kyle Lowry, 6 man off the bench, 25 minutes. They just can't. I mean, you could play John Wall at the same time. Actually, yeah, start John Wall, Kyle Lowry off the bench, but then you go, well, you're paying Kyle Lowry 30 million, and you're paying John Wall the mid-level exception, probably.
Yeah, well, they fumbled the bag with the Kyle Lowry signing, but I don't even know what it's the best thing they could do. I don't know what else they could even do.
Yeah, I'm a huge proponent. If you're gonna sign an old guy, please do a year deal. What is these teams doing signing 37-year-olds to 3-year deals? You really think they're gonna be good at 40?
Yeah, for real. And then at the same time, they play them 70 games in the season at 32 minutes a night. Like, what do you think's gonna happen?
Yeah, then you get pissed off that they're burnt out in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah, like even Tatum's burnt out. He's fucking 24. What do you think the 36-year-olds are gonna feel?
Literally, and I'm a big proponent that everyone's expecting this to be a huge offseason, and I still think everyone's playing chess for next year.
Yeah.
So I only think the teams that will make the big moves this year are the teams that think they're like a piece away from being in championship contention, or they're required to blow it up. Like, let's say the Utah Jazz, that team will be different because they need to do something. But a team like the Hawks, a team like the Spurs, a team like the Pistons, a team like the Knicks are the teams that I really see will be doing the moves. Normally, you'd be hearing about the bigger teams, but all the other teams, I think they're looking at this. They're like, we're pretty cool with the running it back with the same team due to the fact that next year we'll have 50 million, 60 million extra dollars.
Yeah.
Also, you've been enjoying The Athletic? Not been using it?
I haven't used it yet. I took the weekend off, dude. I really genuinely took the weekend off.
I had a great weekend.
Really?
I made almost $200 this weekend off of YouTube.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta take a shit so badly. This has never happened on the pod.
I had to take it. That's why we delayed it 10 minutes. I was taking a shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure this out.
Okay. Well,
sorry, viewers.
While Jackson takes a shit from his coffee, we'll go and talk about the latest rumors. Also, I uploaded 2 videos, so after you guys finish watching this, go check out those videos. Either way, I also have an NFL channel. I'm just gonna plug all my shit. Got an NFL channel. But Kyrie Irving has received permission to discuss a sign and trade deal. While Nets GM Sean Marks, superstar forward Kevin Durant has yet to speak this offseason with each other, Kyrie Irving's camp has received, and after requesting permission from the Nets to speak with other teams about a sign and trade package, according to multiple sources familiar with the situation. Now, and the thing is that Irving reportedly has 6 teams on his radar that he is willing to go to. The Los Angeles Lakers, the Los Angeles Clippers, the New York Knickerbockers, the Miami Heat, the Philadelphia 76ers, and the Dallas Mavericks. Oh my God, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. I would love that, but I know that would just be a dumpster fire waiting to happen. A Durant and Russell Westbrook reunion is unlikely, according to a source. The Nets and Mavericks and Heat are teams that have the biggest capacity to pull off an Irving deal, but the Knicks and Mavericks appear to be in a bidding war over free agent Jalen Brunson, so that could put a contingency on that if that does happen for one of them, and they would probably pull out of that. Now, if I look at the Heat, what would a Heat deal revolve around? Would it revolve around Kyle Lowry? God damn it. I'm about to finish recording this and record a freaking Nets video because I have to. Now, you probably would do Kyle Lowry, Duncan Robinson, and Tyler Hero with a bunch of picks, I would assume, for Kyrie Irving if you're the Heat. And then if you look at the Mavericks, you would basically be willing to trade anyone not named. I agree. Miami would rock for him, and Pat Riley would do his best to understand. And that's the problem. Kevin Durant's frustrated with the Nets because they never took a chance to understand or took a moment to get to know Kyrie Irving. They always looked at him as out of place, a misunderstood guy. And Kevin Durant's kind of upset about that. And I think the Miami Heat are an organization known for willing to work with people, willing to, cultivate an environment for each of their players to have it enjoyable, and especially having Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler will challenge Kyrie like he's never been challenged before, just because Jimmy Butler's an absolute sociopath, and I love it. Now, the Knicks, supposedly Tom Thibodeau. Yeah, Bam, Kyrie, Butler, that would be freaking wild. Obviously, I would love the idea also Kyrie, Kawhi Leonard, and Paul George, because then they would basically send Luke Kennard, Reggie Jackson, Morris, is Morris' contract expiring? I can't recall, and probably Zubac too, and a few first rounders. The Lakers, it would really be Talen Horton-Tucker, Russell Westbrook, and that would have to be a 3-team trade, and I find that one would be the most interesting in my opinion. Now, when I think of a Kyrie, what is Kyrie? Do you give up first-round picks for Kyrie? How much are you giving up for a Kyrie deal? How many picks? Is it more player-based? Is it going to be what the Sixers gave up for James Harden, or is it going to be what the Nets gave up for Ben Simmons? What's the right deal? How are you feeling? You lose 5 pounds?
Yeah, just lost 10 pounds. I'm like Paulo Banchero right now.
Oh, yeah, just losing fucking fluids. All right, so we just found out when you were gone, Kyrie Irving has requested and received permission from the Brooklyn Nets to seek a sign-and-trade deal with 6 teams on his radar: the Dallas Mavericks, the Miami Heat, the Los Angeles Clippers, the New York Knicks, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Miami Heat, if I hadn't said them.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, they were, oh my God. Sean Marks. I love how everyone, I don't know, you might have been the person who started this, but Sean Marks and KD haven't talked. Oh no, I don't think it was. I think it was just on Twitter where it was I don't talk to my
I made a
employer.
video on it. Yeah.
So do you think they should be talking, or since it's just an employer, it's
funny that you said that. I just talked about it. One of the things that Durant's so upset is that the Nets never took a chance to understand Kyrie. They always looked at Kyrie as this out of place, out of sort, acting out of line guy, and they never took a chance.
Looked at Kyrie
and damn.
Sorry.
No, you're good, pussy.
I was watching it on the toilet.
But basically, Kyrie never got a chance to be understood, and I think Kevin Durant feels jaded
Yeah.
because like he's like, this is my good friends and this is my good friend, and you haven't taken the chance to understand him.
I'm more in the camp of I don't know. Oh my god, it's MC. Let's go. What's good, MC? It's the OG right here. Shade Texan, what's
Straight
good?
Texan. We actually
Uh,
had like a decent amount of people watching today.
Dude, 4 of our last 5 have gotten 200 or more views.
I know we're doing well, bud. We're doing
Yeah.
well. And we don't
Yeah.
even post clips, and we're still growing on subscribers.
Yes, sir. Every Kai Soto video I make, it hasn't worked since the draft, before the draft. Every Kai Soto video I make, I'm like, check out this Kai Soto clip. So if it gets like 5 views a day, maybe it's working. But
NBA Central tweeted the belief both amongst the league and players' circles is Kyrie is gone. Thanks, Christopher. Thanks. I appreciate it. We try. We try. Honestly, this morning we were a little delayed, but
this morning I was all over the place too. I wish I knew it was going to be a little delayed because it would have caused like at least 10 minutes less of stress. Yeah.
That's amazing. What's your wife post, Aaron?
Yeah, it's dope.
And
Rachel
also,
Demita.
Dude, did they ever tell us how did Caleb Swanigan die from natural causes? Did they ever say why or how?
I'm telling you, dude, it's because he's 400 pounds and
didn't they say that he caught COVID and he died? He succumbed to COVID because of his weight.
Yeah, probably some underlying stuff going there. I don't really know. I mean, I side with Dame. I don't know what's going on with Caleb's life. I imagine some crazy ass shit was going down. Natural causes. I wonder if he got jabbed.
What do you mean?
Oh my god, no! It's too much for an NBA show.
are you about to tell me some anti-vax bullshit?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
that is exactly
what's
about to happen.
This is too much. Malik Monk is open to accepting less money with the Los Angeles Lakers. Malik Monk said he'd consider accepting less money than his market value to stay with the Lakers for the taxpayer mid-level exception. They might not be able to pay me as much as I want, he said. But I could be here and be way more comfortable as a Laker than going to any other team that would pay me $5 million more. So it's just me trying to figure out what a team really want me. Okay, Cyro,
what does that mean?
It's a reference to fucking Naruto, you jackass.
Oh, that's sick. That's dope.
Yeah, it's a Shippuden reference. And
it's
I'm here as a customer. You could advertise all you
want.
Yeah,
throw it in. It's like a really kind comment.
Itachi beats Pain. Also, Itachi's so badass. I actually have not seen like the last 5 episodes of the canon of Shippuden just because I got really sick of it. Just because it's like 600 episodes.
Oh.
Yeah.
You ever watch One Piece?
I've parts. I'm more of a Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Nice. That's sick.
I'm a very big fan of Neon. I actually watched the movie again the other day. Neon Genesis Evangelion is amazing. If you've never seen End of Evangelion, the opening scene is the guy jerking off to a pair of Comatose tits, jizzes in his hand, and goes, "I'm the lowest of low." And then at the end of the movie, they like turn into liquid, and the girl's aware and tells him she's aware that he jerked off over her comatose body.
Yeah.
That's fucking filmmaking right there.
Ooh, we got some Raps love. Oh yeah, it's pro Lowry propaganda. I agree that Kyle Lowry's a dog, but I know that Raps. My thing with Kyle Lowry is I know how valuable he is, and he's super valuable to them in the regular season. But when you're playing this cat all year, every single night, let me double check this. Kyle Lowry this past season, 63 games at 34 minutes played per game at the age of 35 years old. You can't be surprised when it gets to the playoff time and he isn't as like everyone's tired at that point. But I mean, Kyle Lowry in the playoffs this year, 7.8 points per game, 29% from the field, two turnovers. Right, two turnovers isn't bad, but like you just can't be surprised when a 35-year-old player is gassed after playing 34 a night all season. So you should have spaced it out more properly. You should have run more Tyler Hero, more Duncan Robinson, whatever needed to happen in order to prevent that. So that's why I like what Cyro was saying with John Wall, because you'd be able to kind of divvy up the loads there. I mean, John Wall hasn't played much basketball in the last 4 years in general, so I know he's up there in age as well. Like, was he 32? But he's got
No,
plenty of gas in the tank.
John Wall's 31 going on 32. I also
Okay.
think the fact that he's got a full season of rest or 18 months of rest, I think John Wall's going to be rejuvenated or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, he kept Houston in most of these games. Like, I would watch Houston because I streamed almost every Rocket game 2 years ago, and we would be honestly like we would kind of be it'd be like kind of close-ish halftime, and then end of the third quarter, John Wall would get subbed out and team would be down like 10, 15 points. Every single game would be down like 10, 15 points going into the last quarter. John Wall would get subbed in at the start of the fourth and he'd ignite this comeback. And there'd be this little comeback and we'd be within a few. And then by the end of the game, John Wall, everyone else is just gassed because spent the whole fourth quarter trying to come back. But he 20-7, I mean, I thought he played fine. I'm really excited to see John Wall back on the court. So I really hope they figure this buyout out.
No, I agree. It's interesting as all hell. I mean, first off, I love John Wall's approach. He's like, I'm willing to play for you guys. Like, I'll play. And they're like, but we want to buy you out. He's like, okay, give me my 47 million. They're like, no, we're gonna buy you out for like 20. He's like, nah. He's like, I'll play. He's like, but I'll only be bought out for 47. And they're gonna be, and it's just the funniest thing because he's like, you can buy me out, just pay me my 47. And he's like, well, no. And he's like, okay. So what are we gonna do about it? They're like, you want to come off the bench? No, because I don't know anyone who makes $47 million to come off the bench. And they're like, well, we don't want to play you. He's like, well, I want my 47 million. And they're like, well, you can just go home and we'll pay you that 47 million. I think John Wall's a fucking G.
He is a G, yeah.
He got
Great
paid
G.
like $90 million the past 2 years just to play. And okay, not entirely. John Wall, young John Wall, basically Jaden Ivey is John Wall as a shooting guard when he came out of college, except not as good defensively. John Wall is a dog defensively. John Wall was a top 5 point guard in his prime, was the best defensive point guard in the league. John Wall had, even on the Rockets, we saw he adjusted his game. I would say he's not the dunking, not the driving guy anymore. John Wall's game depends on his 3-point shot now. John Wall's either going to live or die by the ability to hit the open 3-point shot. If he can't hit the open 3-point shot, he's going to become Russell Westbrook. Due to the fact that Russell Westbrook's biggest problem to his success now is he's such a bad 3-point shooter, teams just see when he has the ball, they just space back and they're just like, we know you want to drive. We know you want to drive. We know you want to drive. We don't respect your 3-point shot. Take the 3-point shot. And that's what they're going to tell John Wall.
Yeah. Good to see. I mean, John Wall 2 years before he got injured, 37% from downtown. Last season, 32%. You got to think he's probably like John Fall. You got to think John Fall is probably around. He's probably getting to 35.
Yeah, I think 35 is fine. 35, at least 34, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I want John Wall for his defense and his leadership.
He's a good playmaker.
Yeah, good playmaker. And like the thing is, the thing with John Wall is like passing isn't his biggest skill, but he's still a good passer.
Yeah.
What do you feel?
I feel great. What do I feel about what?
Any thoughts before we wrap up the show? We're coming up on an hour.
Hmm. Hmm. Uh, I think breakfast is the best meal of the day, but I never eat it, which
I don't
sucks.
I don't eat breakfast. I fast until noon.
But would you agree that breakfast has some? Would you agree with the statement? Breakfast has some of the best dishes.
Not American breakfast. American breakfast is fucking terrible. American breakfast is just
Oh no.
sugar.
Oh, do you want to go to France, and have a croissant and coffee
I
and cheese, and then
I
go surrender in a war? Oh,
No, actually though cinnamon rolls are fucking fantastic. I can only eat like one or two because it gets too sugary for me, but uh, I will. I personally I love a croissant with Swiss cheese,
enchanté. Ah oui, oui.
and I
Ah,
don't know.
Cyro.
I don't know. So like each culture has different breakfasts, and like I when I used to work landscaping, I used to work for these three Mexicans and a Guatemalan, and the Guatemalan's wife would make fresh tortillas every morning, and then this like mix of salsa that was really spicy, and you would throw the salsa in the tortilla, like fold it and eat it, and like that was one of my favorite like food, and okay, I worked in a four-star American cuisine restaurant, and I was the sous chef for our brunch. American cuisine is not the same as other cuisine. If we're gonna, does cuisine count as culture?
I don't know. I know what you're saying though. Like in Italy, the breakfast is like a roll, a cheese, and a
Yeah,
coffee.
yeah, or like in America, the idea of a breakfast centered around bacon, so, like eggs and stuff, was actually a idea pushed by marketers and advertisers to sell more eggs, meat, and shit by
Everything
creating.
we eat is, yeah,
Yeah,
100%,
it's all. The
100%.
problem with American cuisine is that it's the corporatization of food.
Yeah,
And
I
when you
like that.
go and when you go to other countries, like my family's from Argentina and Italy and like Yugoslavia, or former Yugoslavia, and I have family in like Amsterdam and shit. And like when you go over there, it's not even like croissants. Like you can go get like pastries and shit, and like the pastries are different, or like a breakfast is like I don't know. It's just like simpler. Or the German breakfast I've heard is fucking huge. Like Germans are like Hispanics, a lot of Latino cultures, their biggest meal is breakfast and their smallest meal is dinner. I just know German meals, or every meal of German is huge. Like Germans intake one of the highest calorie intakes on a day to day basis. Because isn't it like very potato based? If
That's
Yeah,
espresso in the morning.
I've actually never been to Germany.
Same. I've been to Epcot. Have you been to Epcot?
When I was younger, yeah, I used to live. I used to live an hour away from Disney World as a child.
I hate Disney World, but I'd actually I think I'd ball out at Epcot. I'm down to go to Epcot
My
like the
parents
day I move.
are the definitions of Latinos and Jews. The fact that my parents, instead of buying us as children when I was like between the ages of 5 and 9, season passes to fucking Disneyland like every other kids, they got a season passes to Busch Gardens and SeaWorld. I've been to
Oh,
SeaWorld and Busch Gardens probably 100 times. I used to go
wow.
every weekend, like from the year '04 to '09. I've seen Shamu. I've been splashed by Shamu. Yeah, yeah, that's how old this is. Yeah, I got to see Shamu. I got to slap him on the flipper. Guy was a stud, okay? And I got splashed by him. Also, I'm actually very much afraid of Africa. Like nothing racial or anything. I'm afraid of Africa due to the diseases. My sister, last time she went to Argentina, she got yellow fever and had to get a needle shoved up her ass. So like I can only imagine what needles I'll need to get shoved up my ass to go to Africa. Because before you can go to Africa, I had a teacher who was a what's the not Red Cross, but um, which is the one where Peace Corps. She was a Peace Corps, and she said she was taking a shit in a hole in Africa, and a worm flew up her asshole. I
How do you get
love
how do you get yellow fever?
I don't know how you get yellow fever, but bro, I am so not about getting sick. I don't get sick. I'm not about getting sick. So I avoid places that I can get sick. I'm also very much afraid of the AIDS.
Where did your so 2012 with Ebola must have been a tough year for you.
No, I wasn't afraid of
Whatever year that was.
I wasn't afraid of Ebola. That shit wasn't gonna hit me.
Where did your sister go to Africa? Like right
no,
in,
my
like,
sister
fucking
never went to Africa. This
Sahara?
was in Argentina, you jackass, when she got yellow. I was just
your
saying-
sister got yellow fever in Argentina.
Yes, but I was correlating the fact that she got yellow fever in Argentina and had to get a needle in her ass. I can only imagine what needles will need to go in my ass so I can go to Africa. Well, I assume
in Argentina.
I mean, it's a third world country.
Yeah, but like, is there just yellow fever? Is everybody just getting yellow fever in Argentina?
Also, it's probably because she drank the tap water. You're not supposed to drink tap water in other.
So there you go.
I drink the tap water. I've never had a problem drinking the tap water. I'm just built different.
Okay.
Yeah. But like also, if I go to Africa, I want to go to the fucking Sahara, reenact Teddy Roosevelt pictures.
Dude, that'd be freaking tight.
Wouldn't that be cool? I wouldn't go poach animals, but I would reenact me like being Teddy Roosevelt poaching animals.
Didn't we talk about King Leopold like 2 weeks ago on this?
What?
King Leopold II?
This was like at the beginning. King Leopold III, the son, the guy. King Leopold III was fine. King Leopold II and first were terrible, and then the guy after King Leopold III was bad as well. King Leopold III's son. But my grandfather, to escape persecution for murdering my great-grandfather, because my great-grandfather was going to leave my great-grandmother for a younger woman in Yugoslavia in like the 1930s. He escaped persecution, or the 1920s, I think in the 1930s. He escaped persecution by being sent to Belgium, and he studied at like the Royal University in Belgium and worked his way up to being the right hand man, basically the right hand man of King Leopold III. So at my dad's house, I have a typewritten letter personally signed by King Leopold III, thanking my grandfather for his service and gratitude, and basically award like saying it's a privilege to have him there. And then my grandfather went back to Yugoslavia and fought alongside the Royal British Army to liberate from the Nazi persecution. And then this is just irrelevant.
One day somebody's gonna go watch our first once we have 1 million subs. Somebody's gonna go watch our old podcast, and they're gonna click on a random episode, go to a random time, and they're gonna see you pull out a King Leopold. Whatever that word was, I can't think of it right now, and they could be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I don't even know what it is. It's in. Do you speak Dutch or French in Belgium? Because I know they don't speak Belgisch. That's not a language. They either speak French or Dutch in Belgium.
I'm gonna go Dutch.
Yeah, I think it's all written in Dutch. I can't fucking read Dutch. I can read French, Portuguese, Spanish, and Italian. I can speak Spanish and Italian.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I speak 3 languages, you fucking cunt. But my dad speaks 5. My grandfather
What's the
spoke
third one?
Italian, Spanish, English. I'm okay. Parlo un poco italiano.
Sí, señor.
Hablo castellano, es el español de Argentina y de Uruguay y Paraguay, de un parte de España cuando vinieron, y también porque tenemos tanto italianos en Argentina, hablamos con un poco, no decimos pijama, y también hablamos con el chao cuando Ciao. Yeah, like we say a lot of Italian words in Argentina because like our Spanish is basically Italian and Spanish put together. Okay. That is it. Go check out all 20 of Will Jackson's, aka Will Upton, YouTube channels. Go check out my NFL channel, my NBA channel, which is my main channel. Like and subscribe to this channel. And if you guys have anything you want us to do, follow us on social media and DM us because I have nothing better to do. I actually do have things to do. Like I have a screenplay I'm writing, so like I gotta finish that. But like you get the fucking
yeah.
It's pretty funny. I have a pair of hawks coming down and snatching up a pair of ducks while my guys are smoking, and then they almost back into a mentally challenged kid. That's the opening scene.
Is this just like just freelance writing, or is this for like something, or
Well,
just writing the
I just
writer?
one of my friends has 60,000 followers on Instagram, and I just found out he's a cinematographer. He's right now filming Bryce Hall's horror movie, and
Cool.
he has a bunch of connections and stuff. And I took a screen. I've always written movies. I've written 2 movies now. I'm working on, this is either a pilot or my 3rd movie I'm writing, and I posted on my social media, like on my stories, that I was writing a movie, and he asked me to send stuff. And after talking and building up his trust, because you don't send people your screenplays unless you trust them, and basically I just sent him, I wrote a crime thriller that I sent him. Now I'm working on a comedy movie, and basically about a kid who just graduated college, and he's the son of an affluent Serbian, Argentine American family, and he's trying to figure out what's next going into the real world. Also, his dad is the Speaker of the House, and so he gets hired by a company that the only reason they hired him is to try to get their father the vote in their favor for corporate gains.
Is this loosely based on your life?
Parts of it, but like the idea is a combination of a few movies I've seen: Head Office, Soul Man, Grandma's Boy. Few movies. I have a couple things that I like. I mean, a lot of my screenplays are just. I do talk a lot about I do talk Spanish sometimes in my videos, but I do talk about my screenplays sometimes.
That's
But yeah,
sick.
I do. Yeah, I work on screenplays because like I took a few acting classes. I was trained by a Yale graduate, Tamima Feldman. She taught me acting 1 and 2. Now I'm taking 3 years later another acting class, acting for the camera. I like acting, but I fucking hate theater. I hate theater. I think theater's fucking stupid. I hate theater folk, but oh yeah, my girlfriend actually got me this in Greece. She painted it.
Is that Blastoise?
Yeah, Blastoise. I got a bunch of knickknacks back
Looks
here.
like Squirtle.
That's who Squirtle becomes.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
There you go.
I got a lot of figurines so people can notice.
You ever get those minifigures in NBA
No,
Top
cause
Shots?
no, cause I'm not a fucking child. Oh, you have a pair. You have a pair, don't
Oh,
you?
I have like 12.
I bet you do. You fucking child.
That's like 12.
Most of the
Yeah.
shit behind me I didn't buy. That's a lie, but like, yeah, I didn't buy most of the stuff. Like, that's a gift because I'm obsessed with James Bond. Um, I have like right here. I bought this when I was like 7 years old. This is a Vietnam helmet. I'm like a huge, I'm a huge historian. Um, this is like one of the first posters ever. I used to emulate my game after Fernando Torres. I got this poster from my 3rd grade teacher. If at first you don't succeed, you're not alone. It's as FDR, Harry Truman, Dwight D. Eisenhower, and Abe Lincoln, and all their failures before they became president. Marijuana. This is from the first first NBA game I ever went to, Magic versus the Wizards. And then I bought this actually just because thought it was dope and I thought it'd be a cool backdrop. And then I found this in we had a building demolished at our fraternity because it was condemned by the fire department. It was our smoking room. And they said, yeah, you guys cannot have this building standing. It is a fucking fire hazard. So we had to demolish it. So we got to keep some stuff in there. Like, I got a free couch from there.
Nice.
It was terrible, but, like, it got the job done. And then, yeah. Okay, I'm done. I'm done
Wait,
talking
real
about
quick. You could just you could get like cigarettes right now, right?
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
smoke cigs anymore. I quit cigs when I was 17. I started smoking cigarettes when I was 12.
Jesus.
Started smoking Virginia Slims. Then I worked my way over to Marlboro. Then I worked my way over to Natural American Spirits. And then I started smoking Parliaments. I smoked Parliaments from 15 to 17.
Don't clear it. No.
And then
I'm
I
saying,
quit cigarettes. I haven't smoked a cigarette since I was 17.
but I'm saying you could just get like a pledge right now to like get you some pods.
A, I don't have any pledges, and B, they're called new members. For anyone watching, they are not pledges. They are new members, and if they aren't new members, they are PNMs, potential new members. And anything that happens to them is volunteer based, and not as everything is done accordance to the law. Are you asking me? Yes,
What's that called here? Chop,
yeah. Chop, or a mole, a chop.
If it ain't spirit, don't clear it.
I used to smoke doka. We used to put weed and then put a little doha, which is Arabian tobacco that's like 5 times stronger. But then we got to this thing where we found out if you don't put any weed and you just smoke a full bowl pack of doha, which is Arabian tobacco, you can black out and force yourself to get high like the Native Americans used to do with nose pipes. So you would black out, cause like, I personally wouldn't do it because I never liked it that much, but you cause yourself to black out for like 5 seconds, you start to sweat and you get high off the nicotine. Yeah, my friends used to do that with doha. Dude, I got wild shit, I could tell you. I got wild shit. It's probably easier for me to tell you what I haven't done than what I have.
I love it.
Okay, goodbye, boys. Hopefully your parents didn't hear anything, and I hope you guys are all over the age of 16. Well, 18. 16 sounds weird, but I hope you guys are.
Flip that.
Yeah, clip that. Bye. This has gotten controversial.